Once upon a time, there was a man named Ogbuefi. He was stubborn and unkempt. Why he got the nickname Ogbuefi, the village man, was that when he was serving his master, he stopped his master from engaging in bad dealings. When his master did wrong to his senior brother, and Ogbuefi was called as a witness, instead of supporting his master, he went ahead to tell the truth and he made the master's elder brother to win the case. Later, Ogbuefi finished his apprenticeship. He went to the village and took a chieftaincy title. Then he got the name Ogbuefi. Wherever he passed an animal seller, he will insist they kill the animal and pour its blood on the ground. Later in life, his business collapsed, but it didn't show in his body, as people thought he was still wealthy. As Ogbuefi, the rich man, he continued his ritual of telling animal killer to slaughter an animal and pour its blood on the ground. And whenever he does this ritual, people hailed him and he will pay his dues by telling them to come to his shop and collect their money. Unfortunately, they will not find him in the shop. This trend continued and he was known by all the cow sellers and fowl sellers. One day as he was passing, he saw the fowl seller who hailed him, Ogbuefi. Ogbuefi, Ogbuefi, just for him to buy a fowl. But Ogbuefi pretended not to hear him. But at the third sound of his name, he was prompted to answer, and this made him to request that one fowl be killed and the blood spilled on the ground. But the fowl seller refused to do his bidding, as he was now known as a debtor. People around were amazed because it was not right that Ogbuefi was still standing at the fowl seller's store after asking that a fowl be killed for him. The cock seller was announcing to the world that Ogbuefi was now a poor man who had fallen from grace to grass. Ogbuefi started fighting with the fowl seller for revealing his secret. He went ahead to insult him that a fowl be killed for him. Later in the evening, when the fowl seller, Alhaji Ibrahim, came to Ogbuefi's shop, he noticed that his shop was virtually empty. So he suggested that Ogbuefi should try and borrow from people. Later, the fowl seller decided to be his destiny helper to help restore back his wealth. He then introduced him to a juju man called Ogumagala. On getting to the shrine of Ogumagala, he did some incantation and then told Ogbuefi that for his wealth to be restored, he will have to marry a seventh wife. He went further to give the specifications of the gods that the seventh wife must be a virgin and her birthday will be on October 1st, when she will mark her 30th birthday. Ogbuefi was amazed at such a well specification of a wife and where he would find such a woman in this their village when all the ladies have known man. And he was also surprised since he has 6 wives. So how will he add a 7th wife to his life? The next day, he embarked a journey to the next village called Obunda to disguise himself as a farmer from the neighboring town who has come for a greener pasture. The first woman he met and tried talking to her demanded that before they date, he would get her a new set of George wrapper and beads to adorn herself. But Ogbuefi could not go through with her demands as she was too expensive to maintain. One fateful day, while he was returning from the farm, he met an albino woman who was knocked down by a vehicle. Out of pity, he carried her to his house and nursed her back to life. When she awoke, she was in shock as she could barely remember the event of the day. She could not remember her name. Ogbuefi was surprised when he asked her name, but there was no response. She told him that she could not remember who she was and where she came from. Ogbuefi, not knowing what to do, decided to allow her stay with him till she gets her memory back. But for the time being, he gave her the name Mmesoma. She will wake up in the morning, fetch water, sweep the house, and prepare breakfast for Ogbuefi before he leaves for the farm. In the afternoon, she will take lunch to the farm and she will even help him in weeding the farm. Mmeso and Ogbuefi started becoming friendly. They would chat together in the evening, cook together. Along the line, Ogbuefi find out that on October 1st will make her 30 years. The shocking news was that she was a virgin. In his mind, he was excited that he has found the one that will restore back his wealth. After 3 months of staying together, they both fell in love with each other. Ogbuefi quickly asked her to marry him. She accepted, but she was worried as to who she really was and where she was coming from. One night, as they were asleep, something strange happened. As she headed to go outside to urinate, she mistakenly hit her head on the wall and fell down. After 2 days of unconsciousness, she woke up with her full memory. She told Ogbuefi that her name was Adama and she was an orphan who recently lost her parents and she was all alone in this world. With tears in her eyes, Ogbuefi consoled her and promised to take good care of her. Ogbuefi had to open up to her in his past life, what made him to come to the village in search of his missing rib, that the prophecy given to him by Ogumagala had been fulfilled, that she would follow him back to his village. She agreed. Days later, on returning to his village, they got married. After their wedding night, Ogbuefi Ndigbo reclaimed back his past glory. As his business picked up, his customers returned and the things became moving well for him. He once again was a rich man. He thanked his new wife, Adama. We've come to the end of this story. I hope you did enjoy it. If this is your first time of popping into my channel, Obiageli Story, you're highly welcome.